Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Everything Spice. My name is Tanya. Well, today I am making an ode to Lorraine. Rest in power, my friend. Rest in power. When I used to be, trust me, I have had an absolute rap sheet of different jobs. I hate to say it, but yeah, it's sad. But I've learned what I like and what I don't like. I could say that. All right, in one of my jobs, I was an assistant head cook. Doesn't that sound fancy? So you wonder why I like cooking today. Humble beginnings, my friends. Assistant head cook, there you go. Humble beginnings. So when I did this job, they had this recipe and it was a good one, man. I'll tell you what, I loved it. It's called JAG, and there's no meaning behind it, like, you know, like you would say, you know, you JAG, like the actual military JAG. There's no like wording as to what it means, like it's, you know, jellies, apples, grapes. It's not like that. What it actually is a mesh of just, it's a rice dish, and in the rice dish we use chorizo and beans. So it's a meat, beans, and rice recipe. And it was very popular with the kids, believe it or not. They liked it. And it had a little spice to it. The mixed chorizo had spice to it, and the kids liked it anyways. So what I'm going to do today is show you. It's simple, it's easy, but it's certainly entertainable. In fact, I'm going to make this for the church tomorrow, and I think they're going to like it as well. So it starts out with, let me show you what it starts out with, and then we'll go into all the stuff that, how we're going to prepare it. All right, so I have here chorizo. Now, we've talked about this so many times. This is a ground chorizo. And if you don't have ground chorizo, what can you use in its place? I'm trying to think. Maybe hamburger. Or ground turkey. Or maybe grind up some kielbasa. Smoked, anything smoked sausage you could use, or a regular sausage. You could grind up hot sausage maybe, or a mild, whatever you're into, to do a replacement of this particular meat. Or if you're vegetarian, you could use like the crumbles they have, the plant-based crumbles. You could try that. Why not? Make it your own. This is a method. Everything's a method when it's cooking. It's only a science when it's baking. So that's more precise. All right, so we got the ground chorizo, and I have 2 packages of ground chorizo, whatever you want to call it. You could use chorizo too, I guess, in its place. If you have chorizo in your area, it's probably more easier to find chorizo than it is chorizo. Anyway, so I have 2 containers of rice that comes with the Chinese food containers of white rice. Now, obviously, you're not going to have white rice like this lying around most times, but if you do, now you can make JAG. But if you don't, make some rice. Maybe like, let me think, 2 cups of rice to 4 cups of water should do it. Because any type of rice, if you do 1 cup of rice, you have to do 2 cups of water. So do 4, because you need a lot. And if you have a bigger family, then obviously you double it from that. You would do 4 cups of rice to what? 8 cups of water. And you'd make a big panal, because I'm making a panal, you know, of this particular thing. Not that big, but it's small enough, I suppose. This will make a good amount for the church. And then we have these beans. I have 3 cans of cannellini beans, white beans. And that's it. The only thing I'm going to add that adds a little bit of freshness to it is I'm going to add onions. Can't help myself. So let me put my apron on. And I already gathered my things. I'm going to get some onions though. And then I'll join you on the other side to show you how we prepare JAG on Everything Spice. Stay tuned. All right, I'm back. So what I'm going to do here with this recipe is I'm going to take this chorizo, whatever meat you have. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to put it in a pan with some water. And that's what we did, because we would make big, huge panels. Oh, the smell. Smell it, smell it. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? Yeah, baby, yeah. All right, so we're gonna put it in, all of it, all this ground chorizo, whatever you're gonna put in, ground it up. So good. The smell is incredible, and the spices are crazy. I just love this recipe. I just do. I can't help myself. It is so good. It's beans and rice with chorizo, basically. I'm adding onions as well because elevate the game, baby. All right, so what we do is we put it in the pan, and then we add some water, and that's how she did it, and that's how Miss Lorraine did it. And what this would do is it would add a lot of juice. So I like that idea of the juice, and also the chorizo. See, it's not a whole lot of water, but what's going to happen is the chorizo itself, come to the pan. It's not that much water, but what's going to happen is once you cover it, it's going to create its own residual water anyways. So you just do that. I'm going to set it in the back because I want you to see. Set it and forget it. I'm going to push it in the back, and that's going to cook. Now, let's cut up our onions and get them ready for the rest of the meal. What am I doing? I want to do a garbage bowl. I already set aside the beans. Alright, I've already set aside the beans, so, and they're draining because I don't like that. I don't like the water. I mean, I don't know, canned beans tend to have a lot of, like this, I don't know what they pack it with, but it's kind of gross. So I like to get that water off. So the white cannellini beans, I got 3. So the rice might be less than the actual, the meat and stuff. I don't know. I'm going to have more meat and beans than rice. It's something my mother probably would. My mother knew about this because she worked for the same daycare that I did. And she remembers that meal. You know, she used to eat that as well. And if you like beans and rice, like you ever hear of red beans and rice? Who hasn't? I'm using purple onions and a white onion because I like onions. So I'm going to saute some onions, give it extra flavor. You don't have to use this because it's not the original recipe, but cooking is a method, and I like to impart a little extra flavor in everything that I make. So to me, yeah, it's not part of the recipe. Who cares, baby? It's my show. I can do what I want. And that's what I'm doing. But this is something that wasn't original. Just saying. So let's peel our onions. And I want to dice them. I think dicing them is going to be more palatable than leaving them whole. Or slicing them. I don't want sliced. I want diced. Look at this. I'm taking off half the onions. What's the matter with me? What's the matter for you? Come on now. We want the onion, man. We don't just want the core. All right, I'm gonna show you what I mean. I'll start with one onion, and then I'll cut the onions off camera so you don't have to see every little thing I do. Just the helpful stuff. Just stuff that gets you started and gets you thinking about it. But if people in your family don't like onion, what can you do? Onion powder, man. Just use onion powder. That would work too if you don't want to do onions. At least that's how I think about it, because onions are like really, I don't know, necessary. All right, so I'm going to take it. This is what I do. Do what I do. Let me come over here so you can see. Oh, wait a minute. That makes you less see it. Okay. Maybe put it down a little bit. Hang on. Pardonnez-moi my hands. Okay. See what I see. Not seeing it. Okay. Just like that. Slice it across. Let me slice it vertically. And then slice it like that. Now, you can put your hands out of the way and do it like that too. Got it almost to the back, and then look what it creates. Little dices. Now you can put your hands like this, like a claw, and that'll keep, and this knife goes against it, so that way you don't get your hands, and then you just keep moving them back, versus having your hands in the way and your nails get cut. You don't want that. So claw it up, and then put the knife, not the sharp part obviously, but the knife part up against your knuckles, and just keep moving back. And that is a dice. And then just keep doing that. Dice it up. And that's perfect for this kind of recipe. Gives it more of a uniformed look to them. Let me show you what I mean. See what I mean? See what I mean? See what I mean? So it's more uniform. And that's what I'm going to do with all of these onions. And then I'll show you on the other side, once this gets boiled down, we're going to put it together and then we're going to bake it in the oven. Jag, baby, on everything spice. Stick with me. All right, so what I'm doing here is I have olive oil. I have oil in the pan, not olive oil, but you could use olive oil if you wanted to. Love you too. Yes, I love you too. So what I'm doing right here is I'm going to saute my onions to give it impart flavor. You could put them in raw, but I mean, it is going to go in a 350-degree oven, but the point is, it's like, I don't like the idea of raw onions because it's going to take that much longer to cook, and really the rice is already cooked. Now, according to the package, like I said, you do the rice in advance. I have, let me show you. I got my onions all chopped up, but come over here. And I already have my rice already set up in the pan. That's what it looks like. Broke it up, and it's going to go into a 13 by 9 inch pan. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And I got my dice here. I got my, let me see if I can put it in now. My oil's in a preheated pan. Let's see if it sizzles. Yep, it's starting to sizzle. Love that sound of sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. You can put garlic too in it, but what I'm gonna do is use, not garlic, but I'm gonna use like a garlic powder. And what I have is black garlic with pink salt. You can use separate salt, pepper. These are my spices, and it's just really cool. And of course, additional pepper that I'm gonna create. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna saute my onions and get them translucent. It takes about a minute or two, depending on how high your top oven works. I have it kind of on medium. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna add that to the rice. Then I have my drained cannellini beans. Let me show you. They look like drained cannellini beans. I got about 3 cans of that. I'm gonna add that as well. I'll add it right now so you can see. Because this is just a one pot wonder. It all goes into one pot, and it creates this absolute deliciousness when it combines with each other. That's all it is. And this is gonna make a lot because there's so much beans, there's so much chorizo, you know, this is gonna bring the pan up. So even if you don't have a lot of rice in this pan, what you're going to do is you're gonna add all these ingredients, including the water, some of the water, to create the juice. And then this is just, I mean, it's just an amazing dish. Let me add some of this garlic to it, my spice, my garlic, pepper, and salt. And you don't have to use this. If you don't like salt, you can use a salt substitute. But I'm telling you what, man, this stuff is like money. All right, and then I'm gonna add some pepper. Use my pepper mills. I love my pepper mills, man. Gonna add an extra spice, extra pepper. Because you can never, well, you might be able to have too much pepper, but to me, nah, I love a lot of pepper. And then we just get this nice and translucent, and I'll show you on the other side what it all looks like before it goes in the oven. Stick with me, friends. It's JAG. And everything spice. All right, hi everyone, I'm back. All right, so what we're doing here, I already added my sauteed onions. Come to the pan. I already added my sauteed onions, and I'm mixing them in the cannellini beans. Mixed all that in with the rice. Look how it's already become like crazy. You might have to transfer it to 2 separate pans. This is a lot. But look over here. Look at this. Ooh, yeah, look how beautiful that is. And what I'm going to do with that, look at the juice. Look at how it creates this gorgeous red juice because of the chorizo. It leaks all that flavor. You don't want to get rid of that, babe. And what you're going to do is add that to the pan as well, as much as you humanly can, because you're going to stuff it. You might have to, like I said, use 2. So what I'm going to do is add the chorizo. I'm chopping up one of my favorite herbage in the world. No, it's not cannabis. Get your mind out of there. This is cilantro. So I'm going to add cilantro, chop it up, and add it for some greenage. And then I'm going to bake it. All right, so then I'm gonna add cilantro, and I'm gonna add it to the pan, and I'm gonna bake it at 350 degrees covered for about a half hour, and then I'm gonna uncover it for maybe 10 minutes more than that. And then I'm gonna show you on the other side what this beautiful meal can do for your family. It is totally entertainable. Look how much this feeds. This is gonna feed an army, my friends. But look at this, you're gonna chop over here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add it to the pan. Join me on the other side. I'll show you what it looks like. All right, everybody, we're back. We're back. Here it is, JAG. And look how delicious. I added butter to this. I added some onion powder and a package of Goya to finish it off. And I baked it for about, I would say, 1 hour at 350 degrees. Look how gorgeous this is. Buttery, rich, and delicious. Yes, it is. It is. And here's your portion. Come on now. You know you want it. Let me get you some. It is so delicious. This is a great way to use up leftover rice, some beans maybe you have hanging out in your pantry, and why not? It's fantastic and totally entertainable. And my church, they're going to love it. Here you go. This is your portion. And if you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you, please like and subscribe. And join me next time for Everything Spice. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you tuned in. I so appreciate you. Be safe.